So I'm going to show you how to create and set up a new catalog. This is on my laptop, this is on the machine that's going to be traveling with me, and the purpose of this catalog is to create a separate catalog that I use to import images while I'm away on my trip. The goal being that at the end of the trip I'll come back and actually synchronize and re-import these images onto my main catalog at home. Obviously there's lots of discussion in the article about whether we should use one big catalog or lots of little catalogs. I favour using one big catalog. So the goal here is to set up my travel catalog so that it will seamlessly integrate with my main catalog at home. So here I am in Lightroom. This is the Lightroom's default catalog on my laptop, and what I'm going to do first of all is create a new catalog by going File, New Catalog. A dialog box will come up, and down here I have the external hard drive, which is called primary. I want to create the catalog in my external hard drive, and the reason for that is that will then allow me to plug my external hard drive into my computer at home, and therefore to sync the catalogs with my main catalog. I'm going to create the catalog in a new folder, and the purpose of doing that is that the Lightroom itself creates lots of files as a part of its structure, and by creating a new folder it will create all those files in that new folder, which avoids them getting complicated on the external hard drive. But if I just create a new folder, create, and I'm going to call the catalog Raja Ampat 0420, which is consistent with what we've been talking about in the rest of the article. So it should therefore make sense. Obviously that would relate to a trip to Raja Ampat this month, which sadly is an imaginary one at the moment. Anyway, so there we are. So I create that. Now what will happen now is it will now reopen Lightroom Classic using the new catalog. There we are, it's open catalog. There's no images in it yet because I haven't imported anything yet, and I want to do two more things that are quite important straight away. And the first thing is if I go into the preferences, into Lightroom Classic preferences and catalog settings, and within catalog settings I want to make sure that I set the catalog to backup, and I'm going to say, you know, for argument's sake, I'm going to do it every time Lightroom exits. I either do it once a day when it's Lightroom or every time Lightroom exits. And the idea behind this is that this will now prompt me to back up my catalog whenever I exit. Bear in mind, it's not backing up my images, it's purely backing up my edits, my star ratings, my color coding, all the other stuff that I've done in the field. And then if it was to crash, then obviously then I'd be able to recover it. It's very important that when we locate this backup, we locate the backup on a different hard drive. That's an option that we'll look at when we quit. So that's the first thing I'll do. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into via Finder or Windows Explorer if you're on a Windows machine, and I'm going to create another new folder in my primary external hard drive, and I'm just going to call it 2020, and that's a top level folder that will eventually be the location that I'll import my images that I take during the trip into. So going back to Lightroom for a minute, so there we are, that's set up, that's ready to go, and we're all ready to start shooting in the field and importing images.